culture. Here I am trying to help you, and all you can do is you can just put silly comments on YouTube, and you think that that somehow deters me from teaching. The people who want to learn, it doesn't deter me. It just shows me how foolish some of you are out there. So unless you have two fathers and your mother is a whore, let's look at the correct wording for everlasting Father. What should it say? Let me now read it out to you from the Hidden Truths Hebraic Scrolls. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name is called Counselor of Wonders, the Mighty El, the Power of Powers, or Strong Warrior, Witness of the Father, Ruler of the Shalom. In other words, this word should be, in the ancient Hebrew, Witness of the Father. Melech Yehoshua, who some of you call Yahushai, Yahawashi, Yeshua. You know, all of you want to prove that you are right and I'm wrong. Yet here I am still standing and teaching. And where are you? So all of you out there, the Yahusha, the Yahushia, the Yahawashi, the Japanese version of it, whatever, doesn't matter to me. I know what I teach. I know the ancient Hebrew, but most of you don't even know it. Hieroglyphic language. Shua does not mean to cry out, okay, in the ancient Hebrew. So moving on, everlasting Father should be witness of the Father. That's what the Master is, witness of the Father. Aviad, okay, is a witness of the Father. Moving on, ruler of the Shalom. In other words, not Prince of Peace. Ruler of the Shalom. The Shalom. What's the Shalom? Shalom is a name for ancient Jerusalem. Jerusalem. The Shalom. It's the country, it's a city, it was in a kingdom. Who was the first king that we know of the Shalom? Think about it. Who is it? It's mentioned by Father Abraham. Think about it. Who is the king of the Shalom? Well, let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. If we go to the book of Genesis, and we can find out that the book of Genesis tells us that who is the king of Shalom. We know that an event occurred. An event occurred which is mentioned in Genesis chapter 14, in which it says, and it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, sovereign of Shinar, Arioch, sovereign of Eliezer, Chedorlaomer, sovereign of Elam, and Tidal, sovereign of Gentile nations, that they made war with Bera, sovereign of Sidom, Birsha, sovereign of Amorah, Shinab, sovereign of Admah, Shembar, sovereign of Zeboim, and the sovereign of Bela, that is Zoar. So we see this particular event that where these kings attacked each other, and then after the attack they happened to take Abraham's nephew Lot. Also they happened to take some other people with them that Abraham had to go and rescue. Now within this story, when the story finishes and we find that Abraham basically went to rescue his nephew Lot, and we find that what happens is that it says this: after Abraham comes back victorious, Abraham had to go and fight a war. Okay? He had to fight a war. So Abraham comes back and says in verse 18, then Melchizedek, sovereign of Shalom, there. Who is this Melchizedek? Many Christians incorrectly teach this is Yehoshua. They call him Jesus of Nazareth. No, it's not. This Melchizedek, in other words, in the Hebrew, righteous king, right ruling king, was Shem, son of Noah. It says, sovereign of Shalom, brought out lechem and wine, and he was the Kohen, priest of the Most High El. And he spoke and increased for him, and said, increased be Abraham of Most High El, power, possessor of Shemaim and earth. And the Most High El, mighty power, increaser, who has rescued your enemies into your hand, and he gave a tithe of all. In other words, Abraham gave a tithe, 10% of whatever he had, to this Melech Shalom. In other words, to this Sar Shalom. In other words, this king of Shalom. So Melech Yehoshua, when he returns, he'll be the King of Shalom. It's not Prince of Peace. It's basically ruler of Shalom. The Shalom. The Shalom, we know from the ancient Hebrew Bibles that we have, the manuscripts, from the Dead Sea Scrolls, we know that it has a definite article. That's the problem. For those of you who think it's Prince of Peace, because it would be, otherwise it would be what? Prince of the Peace. Makes no sense. So this is why I've said to you earlier, this is why the Hidden Truths Hebraic Scrolls is a version of the Bible that doesn't match anything else out there. You got nobody else out there who produced such a text from the ancient Hebrew understanding, from the languages that we have in the past, Egyptian languages that help us. So my friends, those of you who wish to acquire it, you can go to the website www.african-israel.com. You can write to us if you have any question, but I'm going to say that this Bible will help you to understand who you are. Many of you, the black Israelites, know who you are, but you don't have good translations. You need to get yourself a good translation. The good translation is what will develop your understanding and theologies, and remove the wrong theologies in your life. In other words, everlasting Father, that's a wrong theology. The Messiah is not an everlasting Father. And no, don't tell me spiritual Father. It doesn't say everlasting spiritual Father, does it? So we need to be careful that the wording here in the Hebrew doesn't point to everlasting Father. We need to be careful about that. So we need to see that this particular word is a contradictory translation, and that is corrected in the Hidden Truths Hebraic Scrolls. So I'd like to thank you for watching this, and may the true shalom of the Master be with you all. Shalom, shalom to you.